Hello, this is Talk, Book, and Camera Presence or Camera Practice number whatever. So, as always, the warning, please do not watch this video. I'm recording it for the sake of my own practice of camera presence, of English. English is not my native language. Camera is not my native thing. So here I'm trying to record myself and talk about some things, think out loud about some things using English so that I expose myself to the camera and also I practice English. And I have decided to make this practice as a daily practice, a non-negotiable daily practice. So it's day number 3, I guess, right now, and I want to set up a timer for 30 minutes because the goal is to talk for 30 minutes straight here. And let me take the iPad and open Kindle application. I'm reading books. I'm reviewing the highlights of. I'm gonna be reviewing the highlights of the book called Tools of Titans by Tim Ferriss, and the last highlights that I stopped at were from the chapter called Just Remember 2 Principles. And Principle 1, success, however you define it, is achievable if you collect the right field-tested beliefs and habits. Beliefs and habits. And so I want to be successful at creating content, and I've heard that practicing content creation, documenting what I'm doing, and doing this on a daily basis is one of the practices that could help me go further in that direction and in achieving that. And so right now I am actually trying to learn this habit of daily camera recording practice, and that's what's happening. And I'm gonna probably turn this lamp to the side because it is so bright, and I'm not feel comfortable looking directly at the camera, and simultaneously while this beautiful daily light lamp is burning out my eyes. Okay, so that was principle number 1, and I have discussed that or covered or explored in the last practice. Presence number 2, the superheroes you have in your mind, idols, icon, titans, billionaires, are nearly all walking flaws who have maximized 1 or 2 strengths. You don't succeed because you have no weaknesses. You succeed because you find your unique strengths and focus on developing habits around them. And so I am trying to build habits around probably I am good at conversations, at languages, at thinking, at maybe teaching. And I can test that, whether I'm good or not, by trying to do that, by learning how to teach, by investing enough time in that, because in my opinion, to discover whether I'm good at something or not, I can do that. I can discover that by trying doing that, and in process seeing how well I can, how fast I improve. And that happened to me with programming. I discovered HTML, then JavaScript, then PHP for myself when I was 19. So it was almost 15 years ago. And when I started learning it, I fell in love. When I started learning it, I fell in love, and I was learning it so fast, and I was like digesting the information so fast that probably I would say that programming is one of my major strengths. But the question here is, it's not about programming. The question the question I would ask is whether my strength is about programming, or about engineering, or about thinking, or about learning rate. So that's the question that I would ask myself. And I am not sure. I think that I think that I'm good. I'm prone to how do you say that? I'm talented, or like I'm gifted to be good at programming. But it feels like programming alone won't satisfy us. So it's like it's not the only thing that I'm good at and I want to work on. So one or two things. But later in this book, I've seen there is this chapter on that where one of the guests says that don't try to focus your attention or like become the best in one area. Become good enough in 2 or 3 areas, and then it's like you're unstoppable, because then you are becoming the best in this new category, new thing, where I'm a good programmer, for example, and a businessman, and also a teacher. And so combining all 3 is ninja level. And that is what I am trying to, or that sounds amazing. That sounds like the answer. And the only thing that is left for me is to actually execute on that. So I'm good enough at programming already. I am not good enough in business, and I'm not good enough in teaching. So I need to, or I feel like I want to become good enough in business and good enough in teaching, so that I could combine all 3 directions, areas, and then become successful. Okay, you succeed because you find your unique strengths and focus on developing habits around them. I like business. I like that a lot, and I like teaching. So probably, and I like programming. So probably these three areas, if I deliberately spend time on becoming good at them, in those areas, in those areas, that's the path that is, well, probably I should take. Everyone is fighting a battle you know nothing about. He refers to the idols that are successful, but they are fighting the battle. They are fighting a battle I know nothing about. The heroes in this book are no different. Everyone struggles. Take solace in that. Everyone struggles. And so it's a common thing to struggle. I need to find my successes. And so, but it's like, it is so hard to, it's not that hard. It's, I don't know how to find my own strengths, and how do I, so the questions I have about this, what is my strength? So what is a strength? What thing would Tim consider as a strength, or name as a strength of a person? How would he define a strength? The thing that this person, like, for example, a person has learned how to be a good lawyer, but has spent a lot of years on that. So the learning was slow, but he eventually he persisted and finally learned how to do that. So, but he spent a lot of time on that. So whether the goodness of or skillfulness in a thing is an indicator of strength, or, as I said earlier, if I'm not good at something, but when I start learning it, I learn it faster than average, like, person, then the question is, then is it the strength? Is it the learning speed rate indicates that I am good at that, this is my strength? Or maybe it's either the first one or the second one. So if I am if I have knowledge, if I have invested many years, many time, and into one thing, and slowly built a expertise in that, but slowly, not fast. Like, it was not fast. So whether it's a facet, and what's the difference between facet and asset? Actually, so for some reason I wanted to say facet, but I'm not sure. I am not sure, like, what's the difference? Let's ask ChatGPT what is the difference facet and asset. Let's see. Facet refers to a particular aspect or feature of something, like a gemstone having multiple facets. Asset, on the other hand, it's like, okay, see, on the other hand, it typically refers to something valuable or useful that is owned or controlled by an individual, organization, or entity, such as property, investments, or skills. So definitely I want to use the word asset. So maybe, so I think that the strength, maybe it's either that or this. So it's either the thing that I'm good at, and it doesn't matter how much time I spend on it, so it's strength, or it's learning. So, or it's learning speed. So I am acquiring that expertise quickly. And I think that the better strength, the better thing to concentrate on is to focus on is the second one, the one that has where I'm learning faster. And if the difference in the speed of learning is 2% or 5%, so it's tiny, small, then I would not say that the second one is, I would not choose the second one over the first one, because I have already have developed the first one better strength. But if the difference is something like 20%, 30%, 50%, 100%, so it's noticeable, it is big enough, then I would invest into the second thing, and it's learning. And maybe also then, but it's probably one of the attributes of easier learning if this thing that I'm doing, it's I can do it more easily. I can succeed in it more easily than in the other things that this is my strength, for example, too. So I feel like my strength could be the thing that I'm good at, or I'm becoming good at faster than in other things, and that's the strength. And he said that it's the successful people, they determined what are their strengths, and they focus on developing habits around them. So it's executing executing, building habits, executing, and then finally having some fruits of their work, receiving the fruits of their work. So that sounds like a roadmap for me too, to figure out what are my strengths, and to then build habits like this one, when I am talking to the camera, when I'm trying to, with like using the English language, and when I'm trying to think out loud, to become better at being in front of the camera and using my hands, and so on and so forth. So that is what I'm doing, and I like this one. Okay, so let's see what's next. Extended quotes. Extended quotes. Before writing this book, I called this guy author of Daily Rituals, which profiles the rituals of 161 creatives like Franz Kafka and Pablo Picasso. I asked him what his best decisions were related to the book. Mason responded with, "Let my subjects voices come through as much as possible. And I think that was one of the things that I did right. Often it wasn't the details of their routines, habits, so much as how they talked about them was interesting. It's like interesting. What I like in this quote, and what Tim Ferriss, for example, has done better than I am, is before writing this book, I called Mason Curry, author of Daily Rituals, which profiles the rituals of 161 creatives like Franz Kafka and Pablo Picasso. I asked him what his best decisions were related to the book. And this reveals to me one of the strategies that Tim Ferriss used, and one of the things that I don't use. And so he found a person that has succeeded in the field that Tim is interested in. So it's this Mason Curry. And then he contacted that person and asked him for advice, for counsel. So this is amazing. This is what I'm not good at, or I'm not considering doing. So I'm not finding, usually when I start some project, I'm just work on this project based on my own assumptions, based on my own vision, based on my own vision. So I assume what my audience, like the audience of that project, the project that I'm working on, would want, and maybe there is no demand at all about this, or maybe there are better things that I could do and focus on. So in any case, it would be much like I would succeed in the project, or it would be better, different, more helpful if I find the people that have succeeded in that area and ask them that. So this is what attracted me in this highlight. Okay, let's see. I'm just gonna scroll. Okay. This is the next chapter is your send off, the 3 tools that allow all the rest. What's that? I don't know. Send off. What's the send off? Oh, okay. Send off a celebratory demonstration of goodwill at a person's departure. I got an affectionate send off from my colleagues. Okay. Well, why not? This is a good word. Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse is recommended by many guests in this book. I'm not sure what is this Siddhartha book, but I'm going to actually paste it and look and review what's this Siddhartha in Spanish. Wow, this book is in Spanish. There is a version of this book in Spanish. Kindler. Okay, so let me just highlight it because I am not going to research this right now. So let's see. So the next highlight from this chapter that I have done was, let me just remove that because for some reason I have highlighted only like separately three consecutive sentences. So first, I think of Siddhartha's answers often, and in the following terms: I can think. Having good rules for decision making and having good questions you can ask yourself and others. I can think. Siddhartha's I can think. Okay, let me read this. Yeah, I would like to read this a bit later, but I can think. Yeah, I look like a little lost. There is take away the Siddhartha, a monk who looks like a beggar, has come to this city and falls in love with a famous courtesan named Kamala. He attempts to court her, and she asks, "What do you have?" A well-known merchant similarly asks, "What can you give that you have learned?" Monk. His answer is the same in both cases, so I've included the latter story here. Siddhartha ultimately acquires all that he wants. Merchant: if you are without possessions, how can you give? Siddhartha: everyone gives what he has. The soldier gives strength, the merchant goods, the teacher instruction, the farmer rice, the fisherman fish. Very well, and what can you give? The merchant asks. What have you learned that you can give? Siddhartha: I can think, I can wait, I can fast. I can think, I can wait, I can fast. Is that all? I think that is all. And of what use are they? For example, fasting, what good is that? It is of great value, sir, Siddhartha says. If a man has nothing to eat, fasting is the most intelligent thing he can do. If, for instance, Siddhartha had not learned to fast, he would have had to seek some kind of work today, either with you or elsewhere, for hunger would have driven him. But as it is, Siddhartha can wait calmly. He is not impatient. He is not in need. He can wait. He can ward off hunger for a long time and laugh at it. Wow. This is good. It's not like, oh my God, now I need to fast. But it's so, and then Tim Ferriss says, like, in following terms, I can think, Siddhartha's, I can think, having good rules for decision making and Having good questions you can ask yourself and others. Having good rules for decision making. What should I do? Today, for example, it's the day when I'm supposed to rest, to have some rest. What should I do in terms of my projects? What should I do in terms of my relationships? What should I do with my money? What should I do about my learning? And so on. So I can think, then I can wait. Being able to plan long term, play the long game, and not misallocate your resources. I can wait. I can fast. Being able to withstand difficulties and disaster, training yourself to be uncommonly resilient and have a high pain tolerance. And then Tim Ferriss says, this book will help you to develop all three. I created books, Tools of Titans, because it's the book that I have wanted my entire life. I hope you enjoy reading it as much as I enjoy writing it. And I really like this approach. I can think, and by think, having good rules for decision making and having good questions you can ask yourself and add others. Having good rules for decision makings, what to do next, what should I do with this, what should I do with that. So this is about decision making, about where should I keep my money, in this bank or in this bank. What, like, as I said, like, what project should I take on? What should I study? What should I learn? What relationship should I end? What things should I cancel? What things should I invite? Wow, yes, this is actually having good rules for decision making and having good questions you can ask yourself and others. I think this is a very valuable place and can be like bring golden results. So I'm gonna finish that, and this is the end of this current session because like 30 minutes are past, and now I'm going to the next activity. Thank you.